So I see you are staging your magazines.
Yes, because for all the pockets and Velcro on this vest, it does not have anything that can hold a Madsen LMG mag. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum, and we're out here today at the monthly two-gun match doing the Rio Favela police thing. I have semi-auto Madsen. We're running this in 8mm Mauser today, and I have kitted it up properly for Brazilian police. So I've wrapped some cloth around the front end as a cooling handguard. I have removed all the extraneous stuff from the front end that I can remove. So the flash hider's gone, the bipod's gone. Gun runs just fine without those. And then I have hooked myself up with as best a reproduction of Brazilian police kit as I can find, which means a bunch of, frankly, cheap Chinese black BDUs and tactical vests. It's about 20 pounds of Cordura and Velcro. So this should be a lot of fun. My pistol today, by the way, Beretta 92. Technically, it ought to be a Taurus PT92, but I don't have one. I just have a Beretta. So we'll run with that. This thing's a bit of a beast to fire off the shoulder. Let's see how it goes.
All right, our first stage here starts with you having fallen asleep at the base. The idea here is you have to shoot one popper at a time, but you have to lie back down, have your head touch the ground between them. It was kind of a fun, novel sort of challenge. I had one there where I accidentally hit, miss. I didn't have to lie back down for the miss, but I did anyway. Slowest part of this entire stage for me was getting this thing secured back into my thigh holster there so it doesn't fall out while I'm running back to the quote-unquote FOB where we'll do some shooting with the rifle. The Beretta 92 is a fine pistol. Obviously, that's one of the primary things used in Brazil. Well, the Taurus version thereof. But now, my first bit of shooting with the Madsen. Let's see how it goes. Can I actually make hits at, well, offhand? And the answer is yes. I was really happy with being able to do this with only one miss there. It went really well. All right, next stage is all pistol. So this is a pretty basic handgun drill. There's 5 cones on the ground. We have to hit each of the 3 targets once from each cone. You go back, middle, left, middle, right, middle, front. I first encountered this as a Pat McNamara drill. So no use of the Madsen here, unfortunately, just a handgun drill. And it all went really well for me with this. This is a 92 FS, so it's got sort of the heel release. It all went really well till I did a proactive reload here. Turns out the magazine that I used, I don't know how this thing got into my stash of magazines, but it is someone's badly converted magazine. And so the catch actually wasn't locking into the pistol's magazine catch, the notch in the mag.
It's like I really do have a Taurus.
Yeah, it's actually not the gun's fault. It's the crappy magazine. So I end up having to hold the magazine in once I figured out what was going on with my pinky under the grip the whole way. Then it worked okay, but I lost some time on the malfunctions there. All right, now this is the hard one. So the way this stage was written, there are 3 targets at about 100 yards. You have to hit the right target from the right side of the barricade, the middle target from below the barricade, and the left target from the left side of the barricade. And the obvious way to do this, the clear way that almost everyone did, was to just stay sitting or prone at the bottom and scoot yourself slightly left and right to hit to the right and left. But I looked at this and I figured, you know what? When we see the Madsens in Brazil in police service, they're not shooting prone. They're not shooting sitting. They're always standing, and they're often leaning around corners of buildings. And I owe it to you guys to do my best to try this in the true Brazilian style here. So I did both the left and the right sides offhand, well, braced on the barricade, going prone in between. And this Madsen weighs in excess of 20 pounds. So this was quite the physical exertion here to do. I actually made a lot of my hits. The way this stage works, you have 2 10-round magazines. There's no time limit. You get 1 shot per position, hit or miss. If you miss, it's a penalty. And then either way, you just keep keep going back and forth till you run all 20 rounds. And by the way, as I was doing this, my heat wrap on the handguard started to come loose, and didn't have to get very loose before it would be high enough to get in the way of my sight picture. So there are a couple of shots here where I actually couldn't quite see both sights, and I was sort of guessing. That never worked well, so I went back to trying to adjust the cloth to make sure that I could actually see the sights. All right, this doesn't lock open. Of course, it's a semi-auto machine gun conversion. So I get a click on the last shot, and then I'm gonna wimp it out on this one shot and take it from a knee. But I'm getting pretty tired here. Shots are starting to go not into the target. This was fun to do, but man, it was exhausting. I'm happy I'm still making some hits. Man, props to the guys in Brazil who actually carry these things on patrol and use them like this from the shoulder in real gunfights. Those guys are truly beasts. Needless to say, I will end up taking a whole bunch of penalties on this stage. I was actually one person I think did worse on this stage than me, but I was basically the poster child for how not to do this effectively, which is stand when you don't have to and use a 20-pound rifle. By the end of this, on these standing shots, the moment I get the gun up on target, it starts drooping because my arm's getting really tired. And rather than try to hold it up, I'm just like squatting a little bit lower, trying to stay lined up with the sights and get a shot off before, while I'm vaguely on the target. And frankly, it doesn't really work very well. Yeah, and at this point, I'm tired enough that I'm even starting to miss the prone shots that I ought to be able to get pretty well. Left hand, or the right hand side of the barricade, I can brace with my left hand. The left side of the barricade is a lot harder to actually brace on, and I didn't want to try switching shoulders. That probably would have been even worse. Yeah, we're on a miss-o-rama now. All right, get the cloth out of the way, try to brace it, and that was the last shot. Whoo, that was quite a stage.
Well, I got most of them at the beginning. I did that for you guys.
All right, and one more. This is combined rifle and pistol. So we are hitting some steel targets here sorry about the little glitch there. We're hitting some steel targets here, left, below, and right side of the barrels. This is kind of like the previous stage, except the targets are closer. There's fewer of them. And it's a total of 13 shots instead of 20. And I can rest on the barrels here. So this actually went really quite well here with the Madsen. The gun's reliable. I didn't have any problems with it through the match. It's fun to shoot. Recoil's really not bad because the gun's so heavy. It's accurate. I was honestly surprised I had no problems hitting these targets even offhand if I wasn't completely exhausted. Now, the idea here is you pull the mag and you have a high value shot. You get one shot, the chambered round, and then the gun's considered safe. That's not really the case with the Madsen because once you pull the mag, there's still 2 rounds floating in the feedway. So everyone else had to bring the rifle with them here and then shoot one-handed while holding the rifle. I had a special dispensation with the Madsen. I put it on safe and left it over there because pulling the mag doesn't actually make it empty. Then we proceed to go through here and get 2 hits on the small plate, 1 hit on the big plate in each of the positions, plus a popper here, all firing one-handed with the pistol. So this will require a reload again. I have culled that magazine from the first pistol stage so that I won't run into that issue again. And my reload here goes, well, not all that smoothly, but hey, the magazine actually works. So not terrible. Not a bad way to end this. This was a fun match to do.
Whew, all right, that was a workout, and I don't need to do it again. If you'd like to have this semi-auto Madsen light machine gun for yourself, today is your very last chance, and you get to help support Forgotten Weapons in the process. So if you think this was pretty cool, click that link in the description text below, go.getentertowin.com/forgottenweapons. buy one of our cool Madsen themed mugs, and who knows, maybe you will be the one who goes home with a Madsen themed semi-auto Madsen as well. Whew, all right, that was really quite a lot of a workout, especially stage 3 there.